Welcome to Ever After, Once Upon a Time podcast, Season 2, Episode 3, Lady of the Lake. In this episode, Emma and Mary Margaret try to find a portal to bring them back to Storybrooke, and Henry tries to talk Jefferson into reuniting with his daughter. I'm your host, Molly Southgate, and with me is
Martha Southgate
and
Rob Southgate. Okay, I want to say up front, I liked the episode, but I was disappointed in something.
What were you?
I'm throwing it right out there.
Well, tell us.
Tell us.
The name was Lady of the Lake.
I know, we didn't get to see her.
And no, we did. The Lady of the Lake, I think, was supposed to be about his mom, about Charming's mom. But when they showed Lancelot right up front, I got so excited. I thought we were going to have Lady in the Lake. I thought we were going to have maybe some Guinevere, some King Arthur. No, all we got was Lancelot. So
I do like
I
Lance
was
a lot.
disappointed.
Get it? I do like Lance a lot.
But if we take that out of it, this was a great episode, and I was really glad that Lancelot was in it. So now we know that that the Knights of the Round Table are in this world. Okay, all my negativity's out. Awesome episode. What'd you guys think?
I agreed. I loved it.
How about you, Marth?
Love
A lot.
all around.
Love a lot.
Okay.
He was one time.
I'm freaking out about the ending.
Oh, we're just gonna cut right to the end.
What do I am.
Okay, bring it.
Wow, where did the king come from?
Yeah, no kidding.
He's in Storybrooke, and what is he doing there?
Hey!
And where has he been hiding all this
Now that's
time?
King George, right?
They've got,
That's his name?
they got wooden sword. They can just, I'm just gonna get in the belly with the farm sword.
What? Oh, you mean Henry and Charming because they got the wooden swords at the end? Yeah, no.
Squish in the belly.
But it was, that's King George.
It's a very small town. Where has he been hiding?
Where has he been? How come
We're back.
this is the first time we're seeing him?
With Belle. I think he was hiding down there. Where Belle was.
Now, he was in a car. Is there a chance that he was outside
No,
of
then he'd
Storybrooke?
forget his...
No, before. Just like Emma and Jefferson. Jefferson was on the outside, and he has both lives, and he was able to come in. I wonder if King George was the same way.
Maybe.
And I wonder if it's related to Cora.
We're going to find
The
out.
Red
aren't
Queen.
we? All right, Molly, favorite
The
scene?
Red Queen.
Oh, I'm sorry, the Queen of Hearts.
Favorite scene?
Favorite scene?
Or favorite storyline?
I like the storyline with Mary Margaret and Emma.
Yeah.
When they're down in the pit?
The last episode, we didn't get very much Mary Margaret and Emma, and you were
we got
disappointed.
it in this one.
But this was a lot of Mary Margaret and Emma. This was really great.
Because even the Fairyland stuff had Snow White all through it.
Right. Yeah, this was a Snow White-centric episode. How'd you like that for a big phrase?
I don't know what centric means.
It means it was all about her. It was centered on her.
Focused. Okay, so Cora and Emma, I really liked that scene where they were interacting for the first time, and then
when they were
Snow White wakes up and she says, "Don't talk to her. You have no idea.
kidding.
She's worse than Regina."
And then here's Emma.
Emma doesn't care. Emma's like, "Oh, come on, no, she's such a nice lady."
Emma has can't stop herself. You know, she's whispering in Snow's ear, but of course Cora hears it like, well, what about Henry? Oh, who's Henry? She was giving Cora so much information. Yeah. And we know from seeing how Regina and Rumpelstiltskin are that information is what they need.
Cora's worse, but then Cora says, the apple fell very far from the tree.
Oh, right.
Yeah, please.
Like she was all nice and everything.
It's just Regina that's evil.
Molly, did you buy that at all? Did you think that she was going to be nice? No.
Cora,
yes.
I did.
You said no, and then you
Actually, yes, I did.
You thought she was going to be nice?
To Snow, at least.
Oh, you got suckered in then.
Oh, that's true. In the last episode, you did say that.
She was always being, kind to Snow in the one thing.
So she wasn't just mean, but there was no way she was not going to turn into the Queen of Hearts again.
She wasn't just mean to Snow.
Right. So, yeah, I thought that whole scene with Emma and Cora was really good. Now, I actually, in that scene, was wondering about Cora because, I obviously didn't buy into it. I didn't buy into it that she was a good guy, but I was thinking at that point that there was a bit of a setup here because of the way she kind of came out of the shadows.
That's why I said in the last episode that I thought she was told they were there and she was waiting for them.
Right. And
but
there it was.
No, but we found out much later that she was hiding disguised as Lancelot.
Yeah.
Right. Well,
So
yeah.
that's why she suddenly emerged like that.
Right. So she was Lancelot on the outside. So that's what everybody there thinks, doesn't know that Cora's even there. They just think of her as Lancelot. And
No,
in
they
order
knew
to get...
Cora was in the pit.
Mm-hmm.
Did they really?
I
The only person who mentioned her in the pit was Lancelot.
Mulan, though, said we didn't know it was her.
Oh, okay.
We didn't
Because
know. We thought it was
she was just
Lancelot
going
the
back
whole
and
time.
forth. But Lancelot's been dead a long time, she said.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Now, I like Mulan. I think Mulan's a good character. I think she's cool. The
What do you think of...
Aurora, though?
What do you think of the psychopath Princess Aurora?
Princess Aurora.
She's like a homicidal maniac. She
Yeah.
wanted to kill him. She was stalking him all the way around the
Uh-huh.
little...
That was funny when they showed they were having their conversation, Snow and Emma.
She's just standing there.
Yeah, and in the background you see Aurora just standing there all creepy.
But every time they'd move, she'd be walking around the circle.
Yep.
And then,
Well, and then she shows up later with a knife, like she's going to stab and kill Snow White.
right, well, she had the knife there during
Right,
that, so
right,
we
but
knew
I mean,
she was stalking her.
She comes back, she follows them out there and
Yeah.
comes up with the knife. Now,
It was
okay.
premeditated.
Wait, no, she
murder.
thinks that they killed Philip, so she was gonna kill her.
Okay,
'Cause that's a great way to...
At that point, when she was going to attack Snow and it all stopped, and then Emma fires the gun.
That was
It was like boom, and you're like, what just happened? You look at Emma with a gun, and you're like, what did she just do?
Right.
Because the ogres go by sound, and they were just came up walking around.
Yeah.
They're about to kill him, and Emma shot a gun.
Yeah.
Oh,
Not a good move. That's like
Wait.
what they do on Walking Dead when they attract zombies by accidentally
Mhm.
shooting a gun or something.
except she wasn't accidentally doing it. She did not.
Well, they don't accidentally do it on there either, but they're trying to be quiet because it attracts zombies. In this case, it attracts ogres.
Mhm.
So she wasn't thinking like, I can shoot this and everything will be fine. She just wasn't thinking about it.
Well, then Mary Margaret
And she doesn't listen to
Right.
shoots the ogre in the eye.
Yeah, with the arrow.
The arrow.
Don't talk about that.
And Emma's like, when did
Wait.
you learn how to shoot? Like, you remembered how to
Right.
shoot? When was the last time you did that? She said, it's been 28 years.
28
And she
years.
said, I guess it's like riding a bike, once you do it. Now,
Yeah,
do you
yeah.
think, now Molly's done archery. Do you think that if you waited 28 years, you'd remember how to shoot the bow and arrow?
Maybe.
Probably, right?
Not from the one time she's done it, though.
No, well, maybe.
No,
It's not that complicated.
Oh, it's complicated.
No
Oh, no,
offense.
it's not.
You know what? It
Mary
was more
Margaret.
complicated for you than it was for me, because I hit the bullseye twice, I'd like to point out.
Yeah, there you go.
Right
Now,
on
if you're like
target.
Granny, you just
Bragger.
use the... Yeah, bragger. If you're like Granny, you just use the crossbow. Don't you
The
have to just push
crossbow's
a button?
awesome. Do you know what? I always thought the crossbow was the coolest, and it's probably because Chewbacca has that crossbow, which is so awesome.
How about when
You're
Emma... I'm
crazy.
ignoring you. How about when Emma gives Aurora her coat? Because
Mhm.
Aurora, gosh, she's a whiner.
Yeah.
And when she's not trying to kill him, she just whines.
Mhm.
You know what? Really, they should just tell her to go to sleep, because that's her thing.
Uh-huh. But Aurora picks up the coat and looks at it and says, what kind of corset is this?
Right.
Mhm.
Yeah, Molly, they never would have like a leather jacket like that
Well,
back then.
Unless they were men.
Well, not that kind. They would have like more stylized to the time. That looks like a cop coat.
Mhm.
They wouldn't know what that is, and
Yeah.
especially on a woman.
Uh-huh.
So that was pretty funny.
And then Snow and Emma get to go see her nursery.
Wait, can I tell you one of my favorite things?
Please.
Yes.
Okay, when Emma drops her gun on accident, or no, she's holding it. The big ogre reaches down and crinkles it into something and throws it, and she's like, "Seriously, you had to?
Yeah.
Seriously, you had to?"
But she said that a couple of
That
times.
was one of
here.
my favorite lines, too, when she says, Lancelot comes out, and then they hug, and she's like, Lancelot! And Emma goes, seriously? Lancelot?
Yeah, right.
Like, really?
Lancelot?
What's
Really?
going on here?
Well, and when after he crushed the gun, after the ogre crushed the gun, Snow White said to her, "I told you that those types of weapons don't do anything here. Because she thought, oh, well, I took on a dragon. I used a gun. Yeah. No.
The gun. The dragon's like, why did you
gun
shooting me constantly?
Maleficent could care less about that gun getting shot. Same thing here.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Same thing here. The ogre, she's shooting, and the ogre just crushes it. Big deal. But then that's when Snow used the arrow.
They reached the same gun.
Yes. Yeah, it was her gun. That was the one she was carrying.
Yeah, her little handgun.
Too tiny.
Yep.
So they're in Emma's nursery.
Yes.
And it's all
I knew
dirty.
you guys were waiting to talk about the nursery.
I love the nursery, but it was so dirty. But I'm waiting for Emma. They're going to go back now. They're going to clean it up. Emma's going to sleep in the little crib so that they could recreate the 28 years that
Do you
Mary
think
Margaret
Snow's going to
lost.
nurse her?
Yeah, of course.
Kind of weird.
Mom, I'm gonna hide if you do that to me.
Ew, you were a baby. I don't have to do that to you.
But Prince Charming will show up and read her Goodnight Moon. That'll be
Yes.
sweet.
Good night, ogre.
Good night, ogre.
Yeah.
Good night, knights. Good night, ogres. Good night, men in fancy tights.
Oh,
What?
good one.
What's that?
I made it up.
She's making it up. It's Goodnight Moon, only Goodnight Ogre.
No, good night, men in fancy tights. How does that go with this storyline? Even?
Don't you see Prince Charming's tights?
Yeah.
I don't wear tights.
He does on fancy occasions.
Yes. When they go out for fancy dinners.
I'm gonna get you an up. Oh no, I'm not letting
Why
you
would
wear
you have
tights.
to get it for me? I'm going to be putting them on tonight. All about the tights.
Ew.
Yeah, you like.
So while they're in the nursery, Lancelot shows up to help them, and we got quite a weird feeling, didn't we? It was not right. Something was not.
Oh, when
right.
Lancelot showed up, yeah.
And then it turns out it was.
He was being weird.
Cora. Why was he being weird?
Don't you remember? Lancelot kept saying
he was
things
a little
like,
too interested.
yeah,
in what-
oh, this is the portal. Oh, this is this. Maybe we could do this. And
to go get Henry.
right, and then he says Henry, and that's when
Snow White freak. She
pushes
totally
Emma
knew,
back
yeah.
and pulls the sword on him and says, "That's not Lancelot."
Mm-hmm.
And
And
it
it's
was
Cora.
Cora.
She says, "Oh, I killed him a long time ago."
Oh my gosh, you killed Lancelot! I'm not going to get my Lancelot story now.
So Emma set the wardrobe on fire.
Dad.
Some kind of flashback.
They might have do. They might. They might have do. They might
I
do
hope
a
that they
flash.
do.
Might have do.
They might have do a
Hope that they
flashback.
do.
Emma
do.
set the wardrobe on fire.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Now what?
That was in one of the stories, The Lion, the Witch, and the Lighter Fluid.
I believe they don't use lighters.
I don't think so.
So Mulan came to save them. That was cool.
Mhm.
And then Emma is alone with Mary Margaret or Snow White, and she is able to say, "I was so angry, and I have kept all of this, lived my life thinking, how could you choose to just leave me there?"
Right.
And she said, "Now I'm looking around and I see what you gave up."
Right.
Oh, I wept.
I wept.
It was so swell. As a mother.
And then when Snow was leaving, this actually I thought was cool. When she was leaving and she looked back and she looked at the room, she saw it as the nursery was supposed to be.
So
set
we
up.
got to see it the way that it was originally intended for Emma.
It wasn't all dingy and everything. That was really
They're
cool.
going to recreate it for her.
You think they will?
No.
Why? Who's having a baby?
Emma's going to live in it.
Emma's gonna. Oh, she's gonna be in the crib and
She's
okay.
a 28-year-old
I don't care.
woman.
I'm
Maybe they
telling
can make
you.
Henry do it.
Yeah, that would be a little more appropriate.
Mom, I'm not sleeping in a crib.
So then Cora comes in after they leave, and she took something. Was it dust? Sand? What was it? From
I don't
Emma's
know.
nursery.
Fairy
Or-
dust.
Or
How?
was it just magic? Remember in the last episode when Regina blew on the book and the magic was kind of like dust that came out of it? I wonder if that's what was in that room, if there was just residual magic that she picked up.
I don't buy that.
It
I
had to
think
be
it's-
something more than that.
I don't like your.
but I sure didn't
your
see
thought
it.
At all.
Mine is better. It's dust.
It's just dust.
It's dust, and she's turning it into something
Fairy
Okay.
dust.
Yeah, but it was glowy.
It was
because
fairy
she's
dust.
turning it into
Do
something.
Because
you
it's fairy dust.
Do you have glowy dust around
Oh,
here?
trust me,
Oh no.
my dust glows
My dust.
when the sun hits it.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, right.
All right. What about
So-
Henry and David?
Henry. That's what I want to talk about.
Go ahead. Let's
First
do
of
it.
all, Henry came up with a new operation because they got to get Emma and
Viper.
Snow back.
What?
No, don't you remember the name he said?
Viper. They changed it. Like, Scorpion is like, should I do Scorpion or Viper?
Right. I wrote down Scorpion.
It's
And then he
Viper.
said, well, do you like Viper better? So which one is it, did they say?
Viper.
They definitely said it's Viper. So what if the
'Cause
next
they
episode they
found
say
vipers.
it's Scorpion? Oh, right. You're right. He said it is Project Viper because the Vipers were inside that basket.
Bam.
Yep.
Yes.
You
I got
schooled.
served.
I'm
So-
on the eye right now.
David drives me crazy in this episode because he will not let Henry help.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And Henry
You know
knows
what?
what's going
Grandkids
on.
are a pain in the butt. And
You
that's
know what?
really
But
what it
Henry
comes down
is-
to.
How do you know that?
Henry's been the smartest one all along, and Henry has known what was going on all
Right.
along. Trust the kid. He's earned it.
Right.
And let him help you. It was
Right.
really bothering me. So he keeps, under the guise of he's trying to protect him. Bull. I don't buy it. He just didn't want to deal with him, and it makes me crappy. So he's just leaving him out of everything. But Henry, of course, is not having any of that.
Mm-hmm.
So he makes up a lunch date. This made me sad.
Right.
Because he made a lunch
Now,
date with
Go ahead and say, but I'll tell you what I
with
think happened.
Regina,
Uh-huh.
and then he stood her up. He didn't go. He snuck into her office and stole the keys, and it makes me very sad that he did not go and
she was
have
like,
lunch with her.
Of course.
Now,
I'm
here's
going
what
with
I
you,"
think.
and she's
Here's
being
what you
really
think.
nice.
Here's what I think.
Here's what you think.
I think we didn't see what happened.
David told.
I think that
He
Henry
said-
snuck out and had lunch.
He did not, and they said it.
I
David
like
said-
to think
David said,
that he snuck.
your mom sent me here.
Are we watching the same show?
Yeah.
Your mom sent me here because
No.
you
You stood
invited
her
her to
up.
lunch and you stood her
Oh.
up. And she went to her office and the keys were gone.
Oh.
And so she put two and two together and knew where you went.
You know what?
And that is very upsetting to me.
I was writing notes at that point. or
Because
something.
I want her to become good. And she's trying, and the fact that he could have gone and stolen the keys, gone and had lunch with her, and then left
That's what I
to go
thought
do
had
his
happened.
thing. But that hurts me that he used her that way.
You know what? Henry is going to turn out to be
Henry's
the
gonna be
bad
evil.
guy in this show.
What? No.
He's the bad guy.
He's evil.
Evil.
Um,
I'm evil.
All evil
So,
comes with a price.
So I'm trying to understand something.
Okay.
When Henry goes to the tomb and pushes the mausoleum thing, and he pushes the grandpa, great-grandpa, whatever the heck he is, out of the way,
Uh-huh.
grandpa, and he goes down the stairs, and you hear the beating hearts and everything. David comes
Which
down.
was the best part, when the hearts were beating.
David comes down, doesn't seem surprised by his surroundings, doesn't look around,
Well, David,
doesn't want to free the hearts.
David is from the Enchanted Forest, so this is not an uncommon thing for him. And maybe he doesn't want to free the hearts because they've got other things they have to do. Maybe that's like, okay, we'll come back, we'll deal with that. He just didn't
He
say
didn't
that.
look around.
You know what? No, but you know what? I saw him. He quickly took out his phone and tweeted it, and I got the tweet, and it said they're going to go back and do
Okay.
it.
Okay, you're crazy. Are we
Uh,
watching the same show?
no.
No.
All right, so David is finally going to let Henry help, and he brings him what?
He brings him. Wait, what did he bring him? I forgot.
What was he going to teach him how
A
to
perch
do?
dinner.
Ooh, yum.
What did
is
he
that?
bring him?
He bought 2 wooden swords.
Yes.
And he's going to teach him how to sword fight so that he's ready to go to fairy tale land.
Yes.
And
yes.
of course, Henry had to push it. Are you going to teach me how to slay a dragon?
Right.
Yep, of course, because all kids are rotten, and that's
Yeah.
what they do. And at the same time, once again, this is where King George is sitting in his car watching them.
Weird.
And, man.
It's not going to end well.
No.
Supervision,
Well, because
I
he
look
really
over.
hates Charming.
Supervision, I look over, get my stone sword, and get him in the belly with it.
Okay. Oh, man.
All right, so the only other storyline is the king cursing Snow White so
Yes.
that she can't have a baby.
Yes.
And then
And that was King George. That was
Right.
his thing. He cursed. Now, think about it. He's sitting there watching. He knows at this point, he may not know this before that Snow had a kid. And he sees David, or Charming, with Henry Now he knows he probably thinks that Henry is David's kid.
I think so.
But that's his grandkid. That means he's great-grandpa. And he's not so great. So, pretty crazy what's going on. And like you said, that's not going to go well. Mm-mm. When he realizes Snow had that kid, he's going to know that he was outfoxed. That curse was broken.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
And that was interesting, too, how that all went down. Because when they went to the lake...
To the healing water.
Yep, and they got
first of all,
the magic water.
But what happened was...
It was dry. He found the shriveled up crown at the lake.
Right. But what happened was he had them dump Snow's body, dump her, off the coach when they were... Right. And then Lancelot essentially rescued her.
Right, he came and saved her.
She tried to kick his butt.
Right.
But he saved her, and he tells her that they're waiting at the cabin for Charming and for Snow White.
Right.
And so she's freaking out. So she has to get there. So they get there, and Charming, in the meantime, is fighting all the soldiers off, but the mother's been hit with an arrow.
Right, she got hit right in the heart.
And Snow got there before she died. So
it's worse than that. Lancelot, when he's looking at it, goes, it's poisoned. Yeah. It's a poisoned dart to the heart. Mm-hmm. So that's even worse.
Yes. Mm-hmm. So now they decide they could if they rig up a wagon for this mother, they could take her to the healing waters.
Sure.
And try to heal her. And when they get there, the whole lake...
It's all dried up.
Dry. But guess what they find?
What?
A shriveled up crown, and Charming says, I did this when I killed the siren.
Right, because he did that in that other episode. And then Lancelot finds a shell, and it's got the last little bit of magic water in it.
Yeah.
And
I thought it was like a little cup.
Yeah, no, it was a shell.
A cup for fairies.
Yep.
So Charming's mom is talking to Snow White about the chain that she wears, and she said, you wave it over your belly, and it'll move according to what
on her belly? No.
Yeah, well, it moves one way, and that's a girl, and the other way, and it's a boy.
If you're pregnant.
You don't wave it over your belly, you just wave it. Anyway.
Right, you wave it over your hand.
It's got to be in front of the...
Yeah, she was holding her hand out, but the old wives' tale is that you put it over the person's stomach. I think they didn't want to do that.
When she was standing, she had to hold it so that it was right in front.
Okay, but her hand was out, too.
Whatever.
So...
We'll agree to disagree.
Okay.
The hand might have been out the first time, but when she did it with Charming later, when Charming held it out and it was by her belly. It was by her belly.
So maybe the first time they just did it wrong, and there was no reason.
That could be. Well, her mom the mother-in-law was laying down.
They should have saved the mother-in-law at that point. You know what? Uh-oh. I see a rift coming.
Okay, well, so let's discuss.
What's a rift?
A problem.
A fight, conflict?
Between two people.
We've already had a rift.
Okay.
So she tells the mother-in-law, soon-to-be mother-in-law, about the curse because she was the woman kept going about it. And she's like, just stop talking about me being able to have a child. And so the mom says, well, the water can heal you. Right.
I'll sacrifice myself to heal you because that's the right thing to do. And
then we thought she didn't.
It seemed like she drank it, but it was actually... Selfish. We found out later, Lancelot switched the water. He knew that that's what the mother wanted, and gave it so that Snow drank the water.
When they had their wedding.
Yes.
So before she died, they wanted to get married.
Right.
And Lancelot, being a knight of the court...
I was going to say a mama's boy.
Could marry them. He could be the officiator.
Right.
So he did. And she drank the thing, and then later on... We find out that she is going to be able to have a child.
Right. It's not that she was pregnant. It's that she is able to have a child.
She will have a girl someday.
Yes. Although she didn't tell Charming. He was like, I don't remember which way is which. She's like, let it be a surprise.
She wants it to be but Lancelot knew.
That's me. What is left and what is right? I don't remember.
No idea.
All right. So that's it. There's one other thing that made me cry.
What? Molly's saying she has to do the L shape with her hand and no, it's right and left.
That is pathetic. Okay. Jefferson. Henry convinces Jefferson to meet his daughter. And Jefferson says, no, I will, she's going to hate me. And he said, no, she's not. Please, go see her. And so he sees her after school And I cried because she went running. Oh my gosh! And she said, "I knew you were going to."
And Jefferson's like, "There's no way she wants me. I gave her up," and all that. And you could tell he's just pained. And Henry's like, "No, as somebody who's been left, I know that she needs this." And that was really
and she said,
sweet.
"I knew you would find me."
Yes, that was really sweet.
Loved. So there you go.
That was a really.
What do you think's going to happen in the next
episode.
episode?
Any thoughts? I have no idea.
No.
Well, we got King George to deal with.
Yeah, we got King George. We didn't have any Mr. Gold in this one,
we're
so I'd
doing
imagine
Mr. Gold.
Gold will be back. It'll probably be a Regina and King George type episode. That's my guess.
Yeah.
So, okay, let's wrap it
Cora.
up. Oh, and Cora. Oh, yeah, we got Cora to deal with.
And Mr. Gold.
I think Cora and King George would make a nice couple.
Do you?
I would match make them.
They're so easy.
Is that a thing?
No.
They're so horrible.
There's not a thing to match make someone?
Well, you could match make them.
Is that a thing?
I don't know. I think you're using
the
the
word. I don't think I'm using
incorrectly,
that
but you know what?
You're a matchmaker then.
We're going to teach Molly the wrong words for so many things. We might as well keep that one in the lexicon. So let's move on. Thank you so much for listening, everybody. You can listen to past episodes of this show and all of our other podcasts. We've got like 35 or 40 of them at this point. At our website, which is
www.southgatemediagroup.com.
Yes. You can find us on Tumblr. Just look up Southgate Media Group. We post a lot of fun pictures and video things there. And we also post all the episodes there, too, with original artwork for each one. You can find us on Twitter at rsouthgate for me. Martha tweets from
SMG Pods.
Yep. And you can find us on SoundCloud, iTunes, Stitcher, Podbean, basically any place you get your podcast, you can find us there. And if you don't, let us know so that we can get on that directory. We'll get right on that. Find us on Facebook. Just look up Ever After Podcast and we'll pop up. And boy, did we miss anything? Instagram, we're on that too. That's it. I'm calling it.
All right.
Let's end this the way every great fairy tale ends.
Happily ever after.
The end. If you would like to donate to help pay for this and other Southgate Media Group podcasts, simply go to our website, southgatemediagroup.com, and click on the donate button. It can be as little as $1 or, well, as much as you want. Help keep this fun going by supporting this and our other shows. Thanks again for listening, everyone. You're the best fans in the world.